kicking off red, yellow like that. Why does it do that? What is wrong with my internet connection? I swear. Anyways, this is the forecast for August of 2020 for the sign of Leo. If you have a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Leo or heavily placed planets in Leo, you would want to watch this video. If you are, if you care deeply about a Leo, you can certainly cross-watch this video and get an idea of what they may be experiencing in the month of August. To all of my Leos, happy birthday, guys. It is Leo season. That's why I'm kicking off this month with the fire signs. I just did Aries. It looks like Aries are going to be riding on the coattails of your fiery energy in the beginnings of August. They had a beautiful reading, so I'm excited to see what's going on for Leo. I hope that you guys have something lovely coming your way. Let's see what's going on in the energy. Because of the 8-8 Lionsgate, I will be doing a special card at the end to to signify sort of what doors might be opening or closing for my Leos. This is a broad spectrum reading for a multitude of people who may watch, so please just take what works for you and leave the rest. If none of it applies or it doesn't make sense, that's okay. It may not be for you, but ideally you'll be able to make sense of some of it and utilize it wherever you see fit in your month of August. Great, the cats are fighting. That's awesome. Perfect for the Leo reading. Let's have the cats act up. Maybe they can come in here and start knocking some shit over. That would be perfect too. That'd be right in line with Leo energy. Alright, so am I actually broadcasting? Can somebody chat into the chat room? I'm seeing the red light, yellow light, green light. It's making me nervous that this is not even going out live. The troubles of trying to do this monthly. I can't tell if I'm actually successfully broadcasting, but oh well. I hope I don't lose the Leo reading for Leo season. It shows me that I have one viewer. Can that one viewer say hello? I guess not. Okay. I hope that it's broadcasting. I'm just going to put the chat box down then. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do this. Okay. Alright, so let's see where my Leos are at for the month of August. So this first card is your center. This tells me a little bit about where my Leos are centered at most of the month. You might go in and out of this vibration or this energy throughout the month, but this kind of gives me an idea of sort of what you could or could not be creating during the month of August. It also gives me a little insight into what could potentially be coming further down the line, because what we're doing now sort of affects our future. Shut up. What is going on? Alright, so this was the exact same card as Aries. I'm just gonna roll with it, you guys. This is this card, the Emperor, is associated with the sign of Aries. This is really weird. I don't know if anybody's watching on the last broadcast, but this was in the exact same position for my Aries. The Emperor is always about stability. Where I feel like this was about Aries being in their home major arcana card, to me this feels like a very significant, I want to say that these two fire signs, Aries and Leo, are establishing some stuff in the month of August. That you guys are getting really clear on what it is your desires are, how it is you expect them to be presented to you. And again, the Emperor has very high standards. He's not about cutting corners. He's not about making, I don't want to say about taking risks, but to me it's like we don't skimp, we don't cheat, we don't, we're not lazy in the month of August at all. This is about sort of knowing what we want, having that clarity and that discernment to expect it automatically, have it presented to us in a way that is fair and equitable, yet understanding that we deserve it too, right? The Aries aspect of this card is that sort of fiery energy that is in line with also Leo being a fire sign. It speaks to this idea that we are able to sort of look at the world from a place of being empowered, from a place of sort of feeling our oats. If we look at this Emperor, he's being doted on by these two servants. He knows his worth. He is a fair, loving, benevolent, equitable guy, but he's also not going to let people cheat him, lie to him, steal, that sort of thing. Not that I'm saying that there's going to be anybody trying to do that, but I feel like you guys are going to be paying attention to sort of not only your own behavior but the behaviors of others, and expecting sort of and receiving that high standard that you require, right? I don't necessarily feel like this is there's anything. I kind of felt like with Aries I wanted to be careful about them being a little bit hard on themselves. To me, with the Leos, I don't feel that with you guys when I look at this card. I feel like you guys aren't necessarily I'm not worried about that with you. Where I feel like the Aries, if they were going to not live up to the challenge of their own self expectations of themselves, they would beat themselves up. I don't feel that here. I feel like you guys will easily lead up or live up to the challenges of what you expect of both yourself and those around you. You kind of know what you deserve, and there's a definite clarity with that, and an empowerment with that you're gonna emanate during your birthday season. Okay, now, and if any of you all know some Aries, get together with the Aries and like live in your emperorness, right? Like embrace and appreciate each other. I feel like there might be a opportunity for you guys to sort of validate one another, just because you're both operating at the same kind of you're operating from the center of the same card, so there might be opportunities for you guys to be on each other's level, if that makes sense. The next card is the Foundation. This tells me a little bit about sort of the past and why things are the way that they are this month in the reading. I also utilize this card as not only is it the memory of this card that keeps sort of open the door for everything to be the way that it is, but it also sort of can be the driving factor of why we're doing what we're doing. Did I not shuffle this deck? This is weird. Hold on. No, there's a different card. This is weird. This is in the exact opposite of Aries. This was up here in the soul space for Aries, but I'm just going to go with it. This is the Nine of Pentacles. So with this card, to me, this being in your foundation space, it feels like the focus for my Leos leading up to now has been about the taking care of our material world, keeping our job solid, keeping our money in place, keeping everything sort of connected and real. I feel like there is a sort of self-satisfaction with this card here. I feel like there's an understanding, and this is what leads us into this emperor state, right? Where we feel in control, we understand the work that we've put in, we understand the struggle that we've gone through, we understand the achievements that we've made, maybe in be it in career, finances, relationships, all of those sort of stuff. The work has been put in and the achievements have been kind of accomplished, so to speak. And so we're able to appreciate that from another level. I'm just going to shut this door because those cats are driving me crazy. We can appreciate that from another level, at this level of the Emperor throughout the month of August, right? I also love that this is in this position because it feels like this is the driving force. So there is this opportunity for better, this being the driving force, it speaks to this idea that there's an opportunity here to sort of even almost maybe better our financial situations or our material realm, even though we've done a damn good job of it, right? But this being down here in the foundation, it speaks to this idea of being pushed by this Nine of Pentacles, by this sort of self-contentment, by this self-created abundance that could produce more of that, right? Because it's kind of like what's underneath this moving my Leos forward in the month of August. So now in the soul space up above, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So lots of earth energy. This to me feels like sevens usually represent the idea of change, choices, things that need to happen or that need to, like choices that need to be made. I feel like with this Nine of Pentacles in the foundation that the choices that you've made thus far have been good. With this Seven of Pentacles, I feel a little bit like it might be, I want to look at the outside influences, but I don't know why I'm feeling like this is a warning of some sort coming from Spirit. Like I feel like quite possibly, and like, I don't like to predict anything like scary or upsetting, and I don't think that this is scary per se, but I feel like the Seven is wanting to warn me to like just pay attention to what's going on around me, financially, that sort of a thing. or materially. What are the people around me what are they doing? I think that we are paying attention with this emperor in the center, but I also think that this seven is telling me that there's maybe changes that need to take place. I'm not exactly sure what those changes are. I don't think those changes are within my Leos because the Emperor is such a strong card and the Nine of Pentacles is such a strong card as the foundation that to me it speaks to this idea that we might need to be alerted about what's going on around us. What are people doing around us? And this idea of just being aware of that from a higher space, maybe making choices and changes about situations that maybe aren't working for us or haven't been working for us, or that we've been getting, intuitive hits that, this might need to change, this friendship might need to change, this partnership may need to change. Is this really still serving me? It's kind of got that sort of an energy to it, that sort of a feeling. It's like listening to those internal voices or more subtler awarenesses from a spiritual level that are maybe coming into us around our material situations, right? So this could be job related, relationship related. Are we feeling like somebody's not maybe giving us back what we deserve, being in this position of the emperor? Are we feeling like we're giving too much to others? These would be things that we might be looking at, I feel like, through this Seven of Pentacles. Especially with this sitting in this whole space, it's just like, could this be changed for the better? And this Nine of Pentacles is driving that idea that we want the sort of best for ourselves, and we can and have created that for ourselves in the past. So we don't want to sort of relinquish that or let any of that go in an effort to maybe keep others happy. With the Emperor in the center, I don't think that's the case. I think that you guys will hold strong and be firm in what it is that you want and how it is that you want it. But it might require you to have to look a little bit more closely with this Seven of Pentacles up above at some of the things that are going on and make some decisions that may not be sort of the easiest in the month of August, right? Because I feel like my Leos have good hearts and you guys want to be sort of along for the fun and have a great time and all of that energy of the sun, and it's just sort of, to me it feels like almost like my Leos don't want to be bothered with like having to deal with this stuff, but you kind of have to. It kind of maybe depresses you or bums you guys out, is the feeling that I'm getting. And so this might be a little bit beleaguering, but if you do it, I think that it's for your own betterment, and ultimately it will be for your like highest good. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if that's resonating with anybody, but that's kind of the feeling I'm getting from these cards. There's definitely like an inventory taking place with this 9 and this 7 in the month of August, and this Emperor is sort of like he's inventorying everything that's going on around him, the relationships, the money, how it comes in, the creativity, all of that stuff, and he expects it all to really be in line. And so getting it even further into alignment might require us to have to make some choices and changes in certain areas or aspects in our life where we know intuitively it's not been quite how we need it to be. All right, so the next two cards are the outside influences. These can be people or events, sometimes things more vague like excuse me, belief systems or energies that are having an effect on us during this month. So the first one is the moon. Again, this speaks to that Seven of Pentacles energy where I was talking about intuitive vibes and sort of not maybe listening to them, Leo. Is there some sort of voice in the back of your head that is saying like, hey, psst, psst, this needs to change? To me, it doesn't feel like it's super detrimental, but it just feels sort of annoying, like in the sense that we don't want to have to change it. This moon card coming in is saying that she's going to show us what it is. It's going to be, the moon is a powerful card, right? It's a highly intuitive card. There's an intuitive nature to it. There's an opportunity to learn how to navigate situations that are around us that intuitively, and to operate within them intuitively. But I feel like with the moon sort of shows us the shadow side of things. For some of you, I also see the moon as a very feminine card, and with this woman underneath this flower, there could be some of you that have a woman around you that might need a second glance or an opportunity to look at. There could be somebody that's sort of keeping things slightly. I mean, the High Priestess is more secretive, but to me, the moon is that sort of darker side of us, or the more subtle side of us. I do think that this is an opportunity, though, through examining our relationships, and some of you these may be relationships with certain females in your life. Um, if we look at these relationships or we examine them more closely from this place of the Emperor and sort of trusting and tapping into what we're already sensing intuitively, this moon energy is going to heighten and give us a better awareness of things that need to be seen. Does that make sense? Sometimes when we're under the cover of the moon, I feel like we can't necessarily see everything always so clearly, but the moon brings in those more subtler voices that are more intuitively connected. And so I think that there's an opportunity here to connect to our own intuition and start to see things for what they are. And they're going to be significant because the moon is a major arcana card. So the things that are revealed to us or that are shown to us or that we can see more clearly, even if they're not to our liking or they might be a little bit uncomfortable for us, they're not going to harm us in the sense that the moon teaches us to grow with our intuition and to strengthen that. So I think that ultimately this will be for our benefit again, but it's about having to see these things for what they really are. So let's go to the next card. Again, more Pentacles energy. So we have the Eight of Pentacles. To me, eights are always about balance. There's an opportunity again here. It feels like okay, I'm going to say this. Like when I look at all of these pentacles surrounding this Emperor card and then we have this moon on the outside, it feels like the story here for my Leos is where in our life are things equitable and like the exchange fair? Have my Leos been giving more than they've been getting in the past? I feel like that could be the case with this Nine of Pentacles down below. My Leos are also giving to themselves, but are we getting back from those that we give to the same? And that's this energy of the Emperor. I think that my Leos are full of love and great hearts and want to give and have no problem doing that. But there's this thing that's kind of with the Seven of Pentacles, it feels like it's kind of pulling at me or tugging at me. That makes me feel like there's something that my Leos have known about that needs to change, that you haven't really been wanting to change, or maybe you've been putting it off because you're like, oh, maybe it'll get better, or and this could be anything. This could be a romantic relationship, this could be a job, this could be a relationship with a family member, whatever it is for each of my different Leos. You guys have heard subconsciously or, intuitively that things need to be different, and you haven't listened is sort of my feeling that I'm getting. This eight to me feels like this eight comes in and restores this balance. This moon comes in and she sort of shakes things up, right? She sort of shows us a side of things that we don't necessarily maybe want to see, but we need to see, and it's going to be for our benefit in the end. But it might be at the cost of something, is my feeling. The Seven of Pentacles speaks to this idea that the higher self needs us to make a decision or a choice to really see something for what it is. And if we continue to refuse to listen, the moon's going to come in and stronger and show you the darker side of whatever this situation may be for you. In essence, though, I think that what ends up happening is as we start to acknowledge that and act on it and sort of make those decisions from this place of the Emperor, which I think feels a very stable and steadfast sort of position, this Eight of Pentacles is able to then come in and bring about a more balanced sort of outer environment around us. There's something, someone, a scenario, it's a place that Leo goes, it's a job that Leo's going to that they can't stand, it's something for each of you. It may be different, but whatever it is, it's the thing that doesn't fit, right? It doesn't fit with sort of this Nine of Pentacles energy that we have as the sort of driving force in all of this. Something, maybe even in the midst of COVID, somebody's behaving differently, somebody's, something has shifted and changed where it worked in the past, it no longer works now, and to get it back into working condition, we need to kind of see it for what it really is. That's the feeling that I'm getting from these cards. I hope that makes sense to my Leos. I don't know. I will open up the chat box in a minute. If anybody's there, you can ask questions. This last card is the potential outcomes for where this month will end out for the majority of you. It's not necessarily set in stone. This is a sort of a possible outcome. If it's something that's bad that we don't want to have happen, then we can utilize this as a warning and make choices and changes now to affect the outcome so that it doesn't come to pass. If it is something beneficial that we want to see happen, then we can take heart in the fact that it's automatically, we're just naturally heading towards it. So let's see what this is. This is the Seven of Cups. This is confusion, emotional confusion. And again, we have this 7 up here. It's like we're not listening to ourselves. So 7 of Cups is always about sort of weighing all of our options, right, emotionally, and kind of looking at everything and seeing it for what it sort of is. Is some emotional connection. There's some emotional sort of, there's some of you might be sort of more emotionally connected to whatever this thing is that is in the back of your brain saying that needs to change. You might be more emotionally connected to it than I realize, and therefore by the month's end you still might be a little bit confused and not really, even after having seen it for what it truly is by the light of the moon, we're not necessarily aware or able to clearly make a full, clean-cut decision with this. And that's okay, guys. I want you to understand that if you do end up in the 7 of Cups, it's not a bad place to be. It's just a little bit of confusion energy. It's about, like, is this really working for me? Is it not? What emotional attachments do I have to it? It's that kind of an energy. So my Leos, I think that you guys like to be a little bit more action-oriented and less confused and want to make clear, concise decisions. But this speaks to this idea that also the moon, too, is a very sort of attached card, right? So some of you might be looking at relationships that are rather important to you, or relationships with family members or romantic relationships this month, and having to take inventory and come to terms with maybe the reality that they're not serving you in the way that they used to, or that they need to be placed into a place of sort of equitable balance, and you're not feeling that right now at a deeper soul level. So that might bring about this emotional confusion towards the end of the month. And that's okay. I think that a decision will have to be made. It's just sort of that 7 of Cups to me speaks to like Leo trying to sort of sort through it and make the best possible decision from a place of love, right? But let me see here. I just don't know that it's going to get solved for all of you. And that, like I said, this is only a potential outcome. Like if you guys want to make a clear decision, you certainly can, right? But for some of you, I feel like the emotionality of this being a Cups card speaks to this idea that you're still sort of attached to whatever this situation, person, or thing is that is not necessarily aligning with the other things that you have going on. And you know this with this empowered emperor in the center. You know this. And this is where I feel like you may need to be careful about, like, you can't cut any corners on this one, is kind of the feeling. And you're going to know that by month's end with this 7 of Cups, where you're still looking for a way to make it work, or you're still working. Is this like realistic? Can I make this work? Can I accept that sort of behavior? And something tells me that no, you can't, not with this emperor in the center. All right, let me look at the Lion's Gate. Ultimately, with all of this Pentacles energy around you too, it doesn't feel like it's a bad month. It feels sort of like very grounded. It's just going to require you to look at things that you maybe have been putting off or not wanting to see. There might have been, who knows, maybe just the things that are going on in the world right now has been drawing your attention towards those things. And this is something that it's a little bit more closer to home. And therefore you've been kind of putting it off, and now we're getting to a place where this emperor is saying, no, we have to look at this, we have to deal with this, we have to take care of it, we have to take action on it. Some of you might not be able to, as that 7 of Cups is sort of how I feel. You might still have to be weighing your options, your emotions around this. So what door are my Leos opening or closing during the Lion's Gate? Okay. This is interesting too, because I feel like this is almost a hidden door. You can barely see it. It's in the hillside. I like that it's in the hillside, like carved into the mountain. It's sort of in nature. It's similar to the door that I saw for Aries, which was also very hidden. So I like that these doors, these Lionsgate doors are sort of hidden, but there's a connection to nature with this one, I feel like. There's a connection to strength with this one, to our own natural strength, or where we sort of key in the fact that this door is carved into the mountain. You couldn't be any stronger. The mountain sort of represents as this Emperor energy, even this Nine of Pentacles. Again, we're talking about mountain, grounded, earth, connected, earth energy, and all of these pentacles around us. Well, I mean, we couldn't get any more earth doorway than a doorway that's carved into the side of the mountain, right? But what I will say about this is this doorway feels a little bit hidden. It feels a little bit, I wouldn't say ominous, but I feel like when I look at this door, the question that pops into my head is, do I really want to walk through it? And that's when I look at this like idea of the moon energy shining on us and showing us something that we maybe don't want to see in a situation or in a person or in a relationship. Maybe we're not really wanting to see, but if we deny it or we continue to deny it, I feel like it'll just shine stronger and become more significant. And by month's end, we could be just still as emotionally confused and trying to make a choice and a decision in an effort to bring about this balance. I feel like for me, this is about walking through this door, right? And are we brave enough to do it? So let's read what it says. It's nomad. The nomadic wanderer lies deep inside, so take the leap now, don't crawl back and hide. So when I think about don't crawl back and hide, that's this sort of like not listening to this voice that I feel like is actually relatively clear. I don't know why when I get this sense of, when I look at these cards, I feel like my Leos have just sort of been like, oh, okay, I know that they're not maybe treating me the way I deserve to be treated, or I know that I give more to them, but it's okay, I'll just deal with it, I've dealt with worse kind of feeling, or this, I'm stronger than that, it's okay, I can deal with it. But it's sort of like it's becoming more and more undeniable. And maybe I'm only speaking to a very few Leos, maybe this doesn't apply to you if it's not making sense, but to me, I do feel like there's this sort of like, to be able to sit in the energy of this emperor, which Leo likes to sit in, right? I mean, Leo loves to be sort of exalted and deserves to be. You can't expect others to sort of honor you and meet your expectations if you're unwilling to listen to your own internal voices that tell you when something needs change. Do I feel like this change is detrimental, like in the sense that it's cataclysmic? No. Right? Can Leo bear the brunt of this and not making the decision? Certainly. But the question is does that bring about the balance and the harmony that Leo wants, that Leo once had in the past, that they seek? And that's that harmony and balance and everything that's within this nomadic soul, right? Like, the nomadic wanderer lies deep inside. So take the leap now and don't crawl back and hide. So it's like, don't crawl back and hide from what is being spoken to you, what you're feeling internally, what you're sensing, the changes that maybe need to be made. That is my Leo reading for you guys. I'm going to open up the chat. I don't even know if I have anybody here. Hey, Schoolgirl Witch. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, you're going through a painful time? I'm sorry to hear that. I think that, hey Leslie Ann, how are you? I kind of feel like this is an opportunity to make some changes from a place of empowerment with this Emperor in the center. Will these decisions be easy to make? Maybe not with that Seven of Cups as an ending. But I feel like there is an opportunity here to bring about balance and strength, grounded, all of that stuff in the month of August. I think that there's actually really good opportunities. It just might be, we have to see things in a light that might be uncomfortable because we can no longer deny what we already sort of intrinsically knew. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Alright, so that is your Leo forecast for the month of August. Have a great birthday season, you guys. And I will talk to you later. I'm going to sign back on in a moment and do Sagittarius. Don't let them drive you crazy. Just Support him as best you can, Leslie Ann. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will look forward to seeing you guys next month. And enjoy your August. All right, take care. Bye-bye.